Hi, it's Jacob again, and now I will show you how to solve the first example from today's problem set about the questioner's planet. So we have this mysterious planet, we've arrived there, and there are two types of inhabitants. One kind are goops, and the other kind are cricks. And what is funny about them is that they communicate only by asking questions. And these are very specific questions, these are closed questions, questions that only can have a yes or no answer. What's more, Goops will only ask questions that can be answered with a no, you know, such that the question is the conclusion is true, and the critics will only ask questions that can be answered with a yes. So with a question, if a question is asked by a critic, that you know the answer is always yes, and if a question is asked by a group, then you can always know that the answer is no. And this is how they communicate, and you can see that if you know who the other person is, that is not that difficult to communicate. Maybe it's a bit weird, but who knows. And we will solve some logic problems about this planet, this mysterious planet, because we obviously don't know how to distinguish quicks from goops. It is kind of weird. They're aliens after all, so distinguishing them is a bit more difficult for us. Alright, so let's just jump into the first problem and see what we have here. Well, we have a one person. We have met a person who asks us, "Am I a goop?" Is that even possible? Let's see. Let's consider this possibility that suppose we meet a person that asks us this question. So let's say, okay, so can this be can the answer to this question be yes? Well, if the answer to this question is yes, then this means, because the question asks if I am a goop, that means that this person is a goop, right? It is what it is. But on the other hand, we know that the rule is that only cricks can ask questions which are answered by yes. So because this person just asks us a question to which an answer is yes, that means the person must be a crick. Okay, so we can see that the answer yes doesn't really work, because on one hand the person must be a crick, on the other hand the person must be a goop, so this doesn't work, right? This produces some sort of contradiction. What about if the answer to this question is no, on the other hand? Well, if the answer to this question is no, then literally what it means is that they are not a goop, and we know that there are only two kinds of people, two kinds of aliens on this planet. So if they're not a goop, they must be a crick. So literally, if you just look at the question and say, okay, the question's answer is yes, is no, and it says, am I a goop? So they might. So if it's no, then it means they are not a goop equals a crick, right? There is no other possibility. So if they're not a goop, then it must be a crick. But on the other hand, well, if the answer to this question is no, then we know that only goops are able to ask questions to which an answer is a no. So again, we have a contradiction, right? So that means we have a general contradiction, and that situation is not possible. This is just completely not possible. Right, there it is. There we have it. And it might be surprising that this is the answer, but sometimes this is what it is, right? Thank you very much, and see you next time.